In this video, we're going to go over how to have one method in a class call another method in the same class. So you can see here we have the student class. Every student object will have three attributes: first name, last name, and ID number. We have one constructor. It expects three parameters, so two strings and an int, and we use those parameters to set the attributes. And then we have two methods. One returns a string and it's called getFullName. The other also returns a string and it's called getGreeting. Now if we were to just start using this class from another class, so for example our main class, we could call our constructor to create a student object. So Josh is our variable of type student. We say Josh is an instance of the student class, where Josh is a student object. And we can call both the getFullName and the getGreeting methods from here. So we have to write the object name first, so Josh dot, and then the method name, so Josh.getFullName or Josh.getGreeting. And we can see that the results get printed out over here. So when we're calling a method from a different class, so the getFullName was written in the student class, we're now calling it from our main class, we have to write our variable name, so our object name dot method name. Now we're going to move back to the student class and notice that our getGreeting is actually calling the getFullName method. So since they are both in the student class, both these methods are in the same class, we don't have to write an object name before we call the method. So in getGreeting, we're calling getFullName, and we just write the name of the method there. If there are parameters, we would put the parameters in. But we don't have to put any variable in front of it right here. We don't need Josh.getFullName. And that's because when we call getGreeting for some student object, then Java assumes that every other method you call in the student class from the getGreeting method is going to be for that same object. So when we wrote Josh.getGreeting right here, that moved us into this line of code right here. And when we call getFullName, Java is going to assume that we want the full name of Josh since we called getGreeting for Josh. So we don't have to write it again there. Same thing if we had another student object and we called getGreeting, it would call getFullName for that student object, not for Josh. So Java will just know automatically, get the full name for the student that you called the getGreeting for. And that goes for every single method in any class. If you're calling it from another method in the same class, you just write the method name.